Hello, welcome back to Blunt Force Reactions. We're going to take a turn on the station a little bit and do a little bit more political crap. It's something I hate, but it really pisses me off, so I got to do it. I got to have a voice. Today we're just going to go to the difference between a Democrat and a Republic. Oh, and I don't know if anybody knows, but our country is not a democratic country. This is what they call that? Institutional republic. That's what this is. That's how it was founded. But anyway, let's get into this and see where we go with it.
Is between the political parties, Democrats and Republicans. This video will explain some of the essential differences between the two. Logos. The Democrats represent themselves with the donkey logo, which originated back in 1828 during the presidential campaign of Democrat Andrew Jackson. Jackson decided to use this image of a strong-willed animal on his campaign posters. The Republicans are represented by the elephant logo, which originated during the Civil War when the first Republican, Abraham Lincoln, was elected to the White House. The phrase "seeing the elephant" was an expression used by soldiers. Ideals. The Democratic Party believes in a strong government, in which the government has a more progressive approach to helping citizens of
It's not a strong government. They believe in a big, gigantic government hanging over our heads. So that's what they believe in.
the United States. They are typically more liberal in their views on the rights of citizens. The Republican Party, however, pushes for a more limited and less controlling government. They take a more conservative approach to most rights of citizens.
Did you hear that? A more smaller government and giving the rights back to the people. That's the Republican Party. And people got to wake up to this fact that we want small government. We don't want people hanging over our heads telling us what to do, where to go. Oh my gosh.
They promote citizens' individual rights to choose. The economy. Democrats push for a progressive taxation on citizens.
More taxes.
This means that the higher a person's income, the higher their taxes should be, and the person that receives a lower income should be taxed less. They believe that everyone should have a job that pays enough to raise a family. Republicans support cutting taxes whenever possible without hurting the overall budget and the nation's debt. Republicans also support free market competition, entrepreneurship, such as starting your own business, and capitalism. They believe that every American deserves the right to own, invest, build, and prosper.
Democrats, they want to tax the rich and all that, and big companies, and so they want to tax them as much as they can. They want to put policies on them and restrictions on them and all kind of stuff, so their outcome, their take, will be even lower. And the Republicans, they don't want to tax the big companies much more, because what happens with a big company or companies or anybody that runs a business, the more money you have, the more people you can hire, the more volume you have, the better it is for the economy. It's not let's tax them more, it's let the people do it. And if companies start getting big where they're could hire more people, that's good for the economy. Instead of taxing people more, let's put more people to work. And also what the Democrats do is everybody should work to make a living. Yes, that's true, but they get confused when they go with minimum wage. It pisses me off. Minimum wage is an entry level job. That's when you're 16, 17, working in a burger stand or something like that. It's not where the wages should be high on everything, where a 16 to 17-year-old makes enough to buy a house and buy a car, and that's not entry level. entry level jobs stay low. A lot of companies can't afford to even run a business if they don't have a minimum wage, or young people or entry level jobs like that. You can't pay entry level jobs the same as you do somebody who's been there for a long time. And it kills these businesses. Instead of having three, four, five people working, now if you're going to raise it up to $15 to $20 an hour from minimum wage, now you're only going to be able to afford one person or two people at the most, instead of five or six. You got to remember, a entry level job is not for, hey, I'm going to go buy a house and buy cars. That's not what it's about. It's made for entry level young people at high school, maybe even college, and it's not like you don't have to do it. You can get another job you want. You don't have to work at those places. It's our choice. Oh, it pisses me off when they knock down minimum wage like that, or raise it up so high that businesses can't even compete or can't even keep people working. So they got to lay people off. That's what the Democrats do. Anytime they come in office, people get laid off because they're going to raise the taxes, raise the minimum wage, and it's like, no, no, no. It don't work that way.
Healthcare. Democrats support more federally funded healthcare programs. During his presidency, Barack Obama began the federally funded healthcare program called Obamacare, which ensured all citizens with access to affordable healthcare. Democrats also want to ensure that all citizens can pay for their healthcare expenses. Republicans support to keep healthcare private. This means that citizens are given choices on the healthcare provider that they would like to use. Healthcare providers compete with each other to provide affordable healthcare.
Yeah, and that's right. They compete with each other to make it affordable. If people are going to start buying one because it's lower, the other ones that were really high are going to have to come down to compete. That's what it's about. It's not about Obamacare where you're locked in and you have to go to this guy or this person only. It's limited on your health care. And it's still high. I mean, I know what they want. Democrats want it where the government pays for all their health care. And if that happens, God help us, we're going to have one of the worst health things in the world. Because all these little places you see around here, urgent care, and these dental offices, and eye care, and you go on and on about all these different, they won't exist because it can't. Because all the health care will have to be owned by the government to do this. If the government provided health care, it has to be owned by the government. So all those will close. So you won't have no options. You can't go down to the corner of the urgent care when you cut your finger or something or get sick a little bit. No, you got to go to where they tell you they're government buildings. And it will reduce our health care. They don't tell you that part of it. And you know what? I don't care what anybody says. You listen to some of the stuff up in Canada, they got that. And those people wait forever to go in there. Forever to get an appointment. Their health care sucks. Oh, it's free, great. But I'd rather pay for it myself and make sure I get good health care when I want health care, and I want to choose who I go to. Democrats, oh my God.
Military. Democrats strongly believe that the production of nuclear material must stop. They would like to see that nuclear weapons worldwide be safeguarded, stating, "We need to find it, catalog it, and lock it away." They would like to reduce the nation's budget on military defense spending, and they believe that peace is achieved through worldwide relationship building with other nations.
It don't work that way. What would happen is Democrats had their way, we'd get rid of all our nuclear weapons, get rid of all that stuff. And then Iran and a lot of countries out there have nuclear weapons. They would be dictating to us what we should do. And how are we going to have a deterrent? There won't be no deterrent for us because they have nukes and stuff. It's just like guns on the street right now. They take all our guns. The only people that have guns are the bad guys. Same thing with nukes. We got to have a deterrent. I hope to God we never use them, but we got to have a deterrent.
Republican Party believes that the key to protecting America is maintaining a strong traditional military.
That's right.
They believe that the country should have a strong and comprehensive defense system. Republican views on military are centered around the belief that strengthening the military will build a safer world and a better guarantee for peace.
That's right.
Gun control. Democrats support policies that restrict and monitor gun control. Generally, Democrats oppose the right to carry concealed weapons in public places. Republicans want to limit the amount of gun control restrictions. They strongly support the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, as well as the right to carry concealed weapons in public places. Marriage.
Guns. That's another story altogether. I mean, like I just said a few minutes ago, if we lose all our guns, the only guns out there will be in the hands of bad people, and we can't do that. You know, I mean, they keep talking about legalizing or make it illegal to have machine guns, and they're talking about the M16. Those are already illegal anyway. You can't have a machine gun. It's against the law. It's been against the law for many, many, many years. And the M16, it's not an M16. M16 is an automatic used in the military. The M15 is the semi-automatic equivalent of the M16. It's a semi-automatic, one shot at a time. But when you hear them talk, they don't know what it is. They don't know what automatic is. They don't know what a semi-automatic is. It's not M16s out there. It's M15s, and they're semi-automatics. They're not machine guns. You can't have a damn machine gun unless you're a super licensed gun dealer, and there's very few of those. They can, but for the majority, no, it's illegal.
Democrats generally support same-sex marriage, although Democrats remain largely divided on the issue as some only support civil unions between a man and a woman. Republicans support the constitutional amendment to ban same-sex marriage. They strongly support civil unions between a man and a woman.
Well, I kind of differ with the Republicans on that. They want to get married, whatever, have at it. But I don't think it's the same thing as a man and a woman getting married. Because they have kids and raise kids, and that's been going on for thousands of years, I guess. But if they want to be together, and there's got to be something else, but don't call it marriage. Maybe just call it something else. But I don't see no problem with that. I don't see no problem with that.
Abortion. Democrats generally support a pro-choice policy which allows women to make their own choice when it comes to abortion. Republicans generally support a pro-life policy with an emphasis on promoting alternatives to abortion, such as adoption. Immigration.
Okay, with that, I got a problem with Republicans doing that, and just a little bit. I think we should have abortion, but it's got to be medically determined when that fetus becomes a human, and up to that point they can't have it, because especially for rape and incest and all that, there's got to be abortion for all that. And when the Supreme Court last year said they can ban it if we want and all that, people thought they said they're going to ban abortion. They never said that. What they said was, we're giving it back to the states. And it makes sense. In the Southern Belt, in the Bible Belt, I guess you call it, they're going to go against abortion. And the northern states, they probably go with abortion. It should be up to each individual state. The people there should vote on it and decide if they want it or not. but in myself, I think they should have it, but only up to a certain um, time of the pregnancy. They can't do it beyond a certain point. And I think that should be done by a doctors or doctors who decide that when that point is. Um, Myself, I don't, I would never, you know, be with someone who wanted to have abortion. I would say if you don't want, I'll take the baby myself. I'll raise them. But I think there should be a choice there, and there is. It depends what state you live in, and that's the way it should be, and that's all this what the Supreme Court said. Give it back to the states to decide. It's our choice, not the government.
Immigration. Democrats do not promote strict immigration restrictions. This means that there are less restrictions allowing it for immigrants from other countries to move to the United States. Republicans promote strict immigration restrictions. This means that they support closed or tight borders and a thorough tracking system for foreign travelers. They support monitoring and regulating the amount of immigrants moving to the United States.
I agree with the Republicans on this. Yes, there should be strong immigration. We got to know who these son of guns are coming in our country. Are they going to come in and just live off welfare? Are they going to come in and live off our health system? Or are they coming in as a person that's going to be able to support themselves? Every other country in the world has immigration like that. If you can't support yourself, they just don't want you to come in unless there's special occasions like or special situations where there's a war and they got to get out of there and they got to migrate. That's totally understandable. And those are emergency situations, and people seeking asylum from dictators and you know, or they're going to get killed in their own country. Like if they came from Islamist countries and they're gay, if they found out they get killed, yeah, those people should be let in here for sanctuary. But oh man, we got to know who they are though. We got to know who they are to come into the country, and only so many a year. So our country won't be overburdened by cost. So if we could figure a point, and they do this, they have been doing a quota. So many people coming in from all different countries, they should let them. One country shouldn't dictate, okay, we're going to throw millions at you, and that's just the way it is. That's not right. It's not fair to everybody else waiting in line to get into our country.
Although Democrats and Republicans differ on their views and policies, they compromise and work together in the Senate and in Congress to pass laws that help to protect and serve the American people. Did you?
Well, they don't work together. They're a bunch of buttheads when they try to work together because they think one has an idea. Well, they can't go with that idea because you got that idea. So the other one says the same thing, then they butt heads. Even though one person has a really good idea, the other party won't go for it. And it works both ways. It's terrible. I hate that. It's like these little politicians are won't do it because it was their idea, so we can't do that. If it's a good idea, they should go for it. And you know what? If they don't, and we think that it is a good idea, then we should vote those damn people out of office. A bunch of bullshit, tell you the truth. And we do got to clean the swamp out a little bit. Get some of those older people in there that won't budge on nothing, and it's got to be their way or no way. Get out. You're fired. Whatever you want to say. This is the people's country, not the politicians' country. Hope I got a lot of people mad, but oh well, hell with it. I don't give a shit. Hey, thank you very much for listening to me. I'm ratting and raving, and oh boy, I was holding back a little, but oh well, that's all right. Hey, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'm going to be doing some more of these politician things. You know, digging a little deeper, hurting a little bit of feelings. Yeah. Okay, thank you. See ya!
Did you enjoy my video?